have the tapes. We have the information.
Now, when Al Sharpton heard the tape, because he heard it, he said, that man is wrong, and you're like my daughter, so I'm going to have to call him up. Kevin Hart heard the tape. He said, Mo, I called him, and he said he don't want to revisit it. And I didn't push that. I was grateful that he kept his word, and he called. Our mutual friend, when I explained what was really going down, she was like, I'm not with that. Let me call him. And she called him. And he said, I don't want to revisit that. Then he called back while we were on the phone, and he said, no, I changed my mind. I will meet with Monique, but not with her husband. And then she has to apologize to me and Oprah Winfrey for saying that we had anything to do with ruining her career. Now, that was recent. So as I sit here with you and you say, wait a minute, I heard that man say he was wrong.
Yes, I did hear it.
And was going to apologize. Well, that's turned into, now I'll meet with you, not with your husband, and now you have to apologize to me. How does that happen? And I'll tell you how, and I want to look right into the camera if I can. Oftentimes when it comes to a black woman speaking up and speaking out, it goes unheard until she dies. Then once she dies, then we go back and say, well, she was right and let's make a movie about it. See, I can give you their names, Eartha Kitt. I can give you their names, Hazel Scott. I can give you their names, Fannie Lou Hamer. I can give you their names, Hattie McDaniel. All of those women took a stand. And all of those women left here heartbroken, unhealthy, looking at a community saying, y'all know I'm right, but why won't anybody say anything? People will ask me, do you dislike or do you hate Oprah and Tyler and Lee? No, let me be clear. I love those people. We love those people. My husband and I love, they're our brothers and sisters. And as my husband always say, Mama, we ain't calling nobody out. We simply calling them up to say, listen, let's make our community better by making it right. Not keep running and hiding behind what you consider is your power.
This is the business we've chosen.
They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves. I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went in, and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big and it was Bernie and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean 11 to get that nigga's part. What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star? So on the behalf of Bernie, I would have to say what I have to say.
Now you know they're gonna double back.
Impossible. Impossible, only because if once you play this back, you'll realize I didn't say anything that made me look in a good light. I wasn't tearing down others to boost myself up. But I do have to acknowledge things that did not take place. Like, we're very ingenuous if we say this is not a game and we don't play it and people ain't in positions and people don't have their favorites and they group and they click.
Right.
Well, that happens in all businesses.
Right.
No. Say what side you on, say why you don't like the other side, and then get to the game. But in the game, I'm wiping the field with them to the point where they don't even compete anymore.
If you weren't privy to the truth before, hopefully you are now. People get paid to say or not say certain things. That's the business of the matter. Your opportunities will be limited when and if you decide to speak up for what you believe in. It's just a matter of whether or not you're willing to not have as many movie roles, but be content, be happy that your voice is being shown in a positive manner. And Monique was more than willing to have her career ruined or put on pause in order for her to speak her truth. I mean, she was going on that tirade all around the different radio stations, Breakfast Club, all that, all over. We knew there was truth to it, but the level of truth, we didn't know it like this. She literally called Steve out live on his show, and Steve basically exposed himself as someone who would rather keep quiet, keep his mouth shut, than affect his lifestyle. Because once you get to a certain point, you know, there's lifestyle inflation. You want to maintain. You never want to go back. But there are certain things you do to maintain that lifestyle that one could argue don't keep your integrity.
Did nothing wrong. Y'all know my husband did nothing wrong. But none of y'all in real time, was strong enough to go publicly and say, we can't throw our sister under the bus. All of y'all said privately, I've done nothing wrong.
When you tell the truth, you have to deal with the repercussions of the truth. We black out here. We can't come out here and do it any kind of way we want to. Listen to the money game. This ain't the black man's game. This ain't the white man's game. This is the money game.
Tell the truth, you have to deal with the repercussions of the truth. We black out here. We can't come out here and do it any kind of way we want to. Listen to the money game. This ain't the black man's game. This ain't the white man's game. This is the money game.
But
we in the money game. And you cannot sacrifice yourself. The best thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them. You cannot help them.
We're in the money game. But let me tell you what the game is before the money game. Like before the money game, it's called the integrity game. And we've lost the integrity worrying about the money.
But Mo,
wait a minute.
If I crumble, my children crumble, my grandchildren crumble. I cannot, for the sake of my integrity, stand up here and let everybody that's counting on me crumble so I can make a statement.
Pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves. I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went in, and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore.
Let's fast forward it to when this disrespectful nigga did something called the original Kings of Comedy. Oh. As if Richard Pryor didn't live and walk this very same earth. How the fuck you gonna be the original King of Comedy, nigga? Did it start with you, you disrespectful son of a bitch? Richard Pryor, not Bill Cosby, Steve Harvey is the original King of Comedy. You's a goddamn liar. How you original and you ain't the first one? Then the nigga told a lie that he didn't know nothing about this. And if you listen to his show, you know that nigga's a liar straight up and down. He waited until I said this was gonna be my last show after 18 years. He waited for that and saw that as a moment of weakness and decided he was gonna make it a championship. But then the nigga couldn't sell out the tickets necessary. Damn. Do you think that nigga wanted to be here with me this evening? No, he did not. He wanted to be with Frankie Beverly and Maze. So he could have had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Watch here now. I'm start on January 1st trying to find his hairpiece and his career, because I come to put that motherfucker on the ground. That's what a championship is, my nigga. But if you don't